The evolution of Felidae. A carnivore is a meat-eating mammal, derived from the Latin terms carne and vorare, carne meaning flesh and vorare meaning to devour. Carnivores base most of their daily nutrition off of the flesh of other creatures. Some carnivores include wolves, dogs, foxes, bears, seals, hyenas, coyotes, and cats. Over millions of years, ancestors of carnivores evolved to become more powerful than other species such as herbivores and omnivores. Because there is so much emphasis on a carnivore's diet to hunt for other animals, the carnivores must be well adapted and well equipped. Carnivores have sharp teeth made for tearing and ripping, called carnassials. These sharp teeth are perfect for slicing through flesh. Even though all carnivores derive from the same ancestor, not all carnivores strictly eat meat. For these specific carnivores, their carnassials are less developed. Some carnivores do not have carnassials at all. Carnivores also have a well-developed sense of smell, the ability to move extremely fast, good eyesight, and sharp claws. In order to survive, it is necessary for a carnivore to have all of these characteristics. It is essential for the carnivore to hunt and kill and must be well adapted to do so. All of these characteristics have kept the carnivore at the top of the food chain in the wild. Carnivores are made up of the order Carnivora. Within this order there is the family Felidae. Felidae is the biological family of the cats. Each member of this family is called a felid. Within the Felidae family there are two further subdivisions called genera. The genera in the Felidae family belong to one of two subfamilies, Panthenerae, which includes the tiger, lion, and leopard, or Felinae, which includes the cougar, cheetah, caracal, and the lynxes, along with the domestic cat. And each genus is made up of individual species. The first felids emerged during the Oligocene about 25 million years ago. In prehistoric times, there was a third subfamily, Machaerodontidae, which include the saber-toothed cats, such as the well-known Smilodon. There were also other cat-like mammals, such as the Thylacosmilus or the Nimravidae, which are not included in the Felidae despite superficial similarities. When trying to trace the ancestor of the cat, it is said that about 55 million years ago, the first recognizable candidate for a cat ancestor appeared, the Miacids. Miacids were the first wave of mammalian carnivores to evolve and persisted until 33 million years ago. The Miacids that survived eventually evolved into the carnivores we know today, including the family dog or cat. By 20 million years ago, the first true cats appear in the fossil record as a Proailurus. Not much is known about the Proailurus other than the fact that it was a relatively small carnivore, only a little larger than the modern-day house cat. This fed on extremely small animals in that it had long legs and tail and walked on foot bones. 25 million years ago, after the age of the Proailurus, the first true cat appeared, which is called the Suailurus. Suailurus was very similar to the Proailurus and was the first cat to migrate from Eurasia to North America. This event is estimated to have occurred approximately 20 million years ago. The Suailurus began to evolve into a more modern-day cat. Back molars were greatly reduced and it walked on its toes. This allowed the Suailurus to achieve more agility and speed than the Proailurus. It was like a small leopard in appearance. The emergence of this brought in a new era in the modern-day evolution of cats. Afterwards, around 17 million years ago, the numbers of Felidae species appearing in the fossil record had increased. At the same time, cat-like species from families outside of Felidae were decreasing in numbers. It is said that the earth was becoming more and more cool and dry, which created more savanna woodlands and plains and less jungle. This was somewhat of an advantage for the Felidae. This could explain the increase of the Felidae numbers. Because of this, prey had to move out of the jungles and into these new open areas, and leading them to evolve larger body sizes and faster speeds to escape predators. They could not easily outrun their predators out in the open without cover or hiding places. Because of this, Suailurus had to evolve and grow in size as well, to keep up with their evolving prey in order to survive. Suailurus laid the foundations of evolution that would eventually lead to all modern cats as well as many extinct ones. Suailurus later went on to split into two major groups, the Machaerodontidae, the saber-tooths, and the Schlotzaurus, ancestor of the modern-day Felidae group. Although very similar, the saber-tooth Macrodontidae, is not actually related to our modern-day cats. It was actually the Schizolerus that gave rise to our Felidae family that we have today. The fossils found around 12 million years ago from the Schizolerus are extremely small to our modern-day small cats. Cheetahs and lions are said to be the next and earliest species that arose from the Schizolerus, and then later came the leopards, jaguars, and tigers. There is no certainty as to exactly how these species evolved from the Schizolerus. It is said to be a very mysterious and difficult subject. Many of the fossils look so much alike that it is hard for scientists to tell each species apart from one another. These large species of cats today now inhabit everywhere but the Arctic, Antarctic, and Australia. After the larger cats, it was the domesticated cats that had evolved. It is said that cats were not domesticated until approximately 4,000 years ago, when the Egyptians first decided to keep them as pets. It is not very clear how exactly domesticated cats evolved, but today there are more than 600 million cats that lived as pets around the world. Domestic cats today still take many characteristics from their wild ancestors. The arresting eyes, body shape, feeding and grooming habits are the same, along with the ability to pounce into action at any given moment as their ancestors. When looking back on the evolution of these species, why was there so much change, and what was the point of it? The only way to survive as a species is to adapt an individual's environment and keep reproducing. The point of all these changes that the Felidae family underwent was to become more apt to survive in their surroundings and to reproduce. So that's exactly what the large cats did. Today's members of the Felidae family has characteristics such as the vertebrae of these creatures is able to withstand violent force while maintaining a wide range of motion. This allows the animal to move in ways that many other predators or prey cannot, giving it the advantage. Each foot is padded and has a springy forepod of toes, with feet and legs like an absorbing system, which can take falls and create forces that leave a prey broken and mangled. They can freeze motionless for long periods of time, stare without blinking, barely breathing, and then flash out in a burst of blinding speed to strike. Their jaw is able to support weight several times their own to keep a hold on their prey. All of these characteristics were adapted over time because of natural selection. Every successful species that has ever lived has evolved in some way in order to survive and reproduce. Without doing so, would result in extinction. The felids have undergone many adaptations and evolutionary changes. Many things are still a mystery, and the fossil record is incomplete and under research. Many factors went into the evolution of the felids, and they will keep adapting and changing as time goes on.